Most people believe they are independent, not because they've tested it, but because it feels true. No one tells them what to think. No one orders them where to go. No one forces their hand. They wake up, make choices, move through the day. And that feeling of self-direction is taken as evidence. But independence is not proven by the absence of commands. It's proven by understanding what shapes your movement before you move. And most people never look that closely. Independence is often imagined as separation. I'm independent because I'm not controlled. I'm independent because no one owns me. I'm independent because I answer to myself. This idea comes from older forms of power where control was obvious. Rules were explicit. Authority was visible. Resistance was external. But modern systems don't operate that way. They don't need to stand over you. They don't need to issue commands. They only need to shape the environment so that certain paths feel natural and others feel unnecessarily difficult. No one needs to stop you when the structure already decides where movement flows. As control became less visible, the definition of independence changed. Independence became choice. I'm independent because I choose. I decide what to watch. I decide what to believe. I decide what matters. But choice is not freedom by default. Choice only exists meaningfully when the field of options is not engineered, when defaults are neutral, when incentives are transparent, when alternatives are not quietly buried. Modern systems rarely remove choice. They curate it. They arrange it. They prioritize it. They nudge it. And when every option feels voluntary, the system disappears from view. Most people never ask where their choices come from. They focus on the decision itself, not the system that made it available. But independence is not found in selecting between options. It's found in recognizing who assembled the menu. When preferences are predicted, when desires are modeled, when attention is guided, choice becomes navigation, not authorship. You are not choosing freely. You are choosing efficiently within a system designed to minimize friction. And efficiency feels like autonomy. At a certain point, independence becomes part of identity. I'm independent-minded. I think for myself. I'm not influenced. These statements feel empowering. But identity is the most stable form of control. Once independence becomes self-image, it no longer needs to be examined. Any suggestion of influence feels like an insult, not an observation. So the belief protects itself. And the system doesn't need to argue. It only needs to let you defend your independence on its behalf. True independence introduces unpredictability, but unpredictability is expensive. It disrupts systems. It resists modeling. It creates friction. So modern environments reward predictability, not through punishment, but through ease. Predictable behavior moves faster. Predictable people feel less resistance. Predictable choices feel more comfortable, like water flowing through a channel already carved. Over time, comfort becomes proof. If it works for me, it must be my choice. But comfort is not evidence of freedom. It's evidence of alignment. The illusion works because it feels personal. No one tells you what to want. You discover it. No one forces your habits. They form naturally. No one assigns your identity. You grow into it. This gradual internalization is what makes the myth durable. Control that feels imposed invites resistance. Control that feels self-chosen creates loyalty. And loyalty doesn't question the structure it benefits from. Every system needs stability. In older systems, stability came from force. In modern systems, it comes from belief. Specifically, the belief that you are independent. Once people believe they are free, they stop looking for constraints. Once they believe they are autonomous, they stop examining influence. The feeling of independence becomes the final layer of control, not because it's false, but because it's incomplete. Awareness complicates independence. It slows it down. It introduces hesitation. It creates distance between impulse and action. Awareness does not eliminate influence, but it reveals it. And revelation changes how power works. When you see incentives, they lose some authority. When you recognize framing, it no longer feels invisible. Independence is not the absence of influence. It is awareness of it. Most people imagine independence as limitless freedom, but no one lives that way. Independence has always been constrained by biology, by culture, by systems. The myth is not that independence exists. The myth is that it exists automatically. True independence is narrow. It exists in moments, not identities. In pauses, not declarations. In precision, not freedom fantasies. There is no dramatic escape from influence, no clean separation, no pure independence. What remains is clarity. The ability to recognize what moves you before you move. The discipline to pause where speed is encouraged. The restraint to choose only after influence is named. Independence is not doing whatever you want. It's knowing when what you want did not originate with you. That awareness does not free you completely, but it changes everything that follows.